Hello. So, I need some way of turning those great big fellows out there into nice pieces of workable wood. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a bandsaw. So I put together a little jig here. Digs into the fingers. So to get the stability on these ones with the bearings, I'm going to have a block to hold each bearing on the outside, so it's just slightly raised above the centre. If I just put them straight into there, they'll be way too wibbly. Still following the same path as you go around. That's a wheel, all bearings and everything. Have a block between them to keep the offset. I finished up the basic structure. I don't have a drive belt on it yet, but so you see this end, we have this block. It's primarily retained by this backbone here. All the structural stress goes through that. I've got a spring here and a bolt which pulls on this tensioning block. Then here we have an outside brace which holds this. Then we just have some little wooden blocks here for the blade guides. I'm not sure if the case will be live when I plug it in. My goodness, that's such a powerful motor. Last time I tried to run this motor, it scared the living out of me. That system in series with the motor. So, essentially, 2 light bulbs, you can take a washing machine motor and bring it down to a level of power output that's manageable. Okay, so we plug it in. All 3 light bulbs light up and it starts spinning. Okay, so here's a completed bandsaw. Jesus. I was going to use this for milling planks for making beehives, but in reality it just isn't solid enough. As a prototype though, it's brilliant, and it is genuinely a very useful tool now. It's just one big beam of wood there, and then 2 wheels. The tracking's adjusted by a screw here, and then a steel plate that the drive shaft goes through, and it pivots on this front fellow here. Down at the bottom here we have a big routed plywood wheel, and then it sits on a little truck, and the tension is applied linearly with the wheel by a spring and a washer and a bit threaded rod. Bandsaw blade doesn't slip, it's just resting directly on the plywood. The drive is just an old washing machine motor with a bicycle sprocket welded on the front. Don't know if you can see that. There's a bearing for the chain tensioner. And a bike chain with some small bolts that hold it together. I've rounded off the other end. You need a little rubber on that wheel, old bike inner tube, but that's about it. It's not really powerful enough to cut through great big lumps of wood. It'll cut through anything that'll fit in that choke, but you're not going to be milling planks anytime soon. So here's a little demonstration of it running. That's the speed control there. The belt will hop if you run it without any load, but providing you have a load, it's pretty great. And it'll cut anything that you'll run through it. It's just amazing. Even really thick stock like this. And if it ever gets a little bit too excited, the bike chain hops off the sprocket. I don't know. How wide is that? Maybe 0.5 millimeter worth of material. Compared to that great big chungus over there, which removes 3 mil. Good. This is my new way of building beehives. It's all CLS, Canadian Lumber Standard. My local hardware shop sells it untreated, which is wonderful. In Britain we get very cold winters, so we got a good thick layer of insulation on this hive. This box is a little taller because I have a nuke full of bees I collected when my hive last swarmed, and I need a national size box to drop them into. All the further boxes I'm going to make are 190, which is the Timrose hive height, and that's just 3 CLS. So you just take 3 of these, stack them up, and a little bit of woodworking to put these slots in, and you're good. You can just drop the bees right in. Bee stings are an accumulative poison. So if you get stung 3 times in a row, that's fine, but if you get stung 3 times in a row every week, then your immune system starts to see it as a real serious problem, and yeah, it's not good. You swell up like a great big tomato. I had a wonderful festival to go to, but I spent the whole time with one arm flopping about heavy, and if they get you in the joints, every time you move, you make it worse. I mean, there's very clever bees. They're excellent at taking down great big animals, but yeah, it's no fun. At some point in the future, I definitely need to make a video on all the mistakes I've made trying to be a beekeeper, but that's for another day.